Hi all, welcome to the new current episode of Rats in the Kitchen. The year 2017, episode 18. This episode we're starting off with the new and improved homemade grappling hook. It was improved with duct tape. We had some leftover duct tape from my wife's roller derby days. And we are quickly remembering the importance of gloves. I got a blister from this one. That rope went down pretty quick for some reason. If you want to send sympathy cards, you can do that to Rats in the Kitchen, P.O. Box 286, Drake, Mass. 01826, USA. And those are special order extra large dishwashing gloves. You have to special order them in a men's size. There's an obvious joke there about men washing dishes and how we're legally prohibited from doing so. Right now we are at Moody Street, home in Lowell. And we're pulling up a bike. Almost. There has been some discussion about whether that's called a grappling hook or a gaff. From what I've seen pictures of gaffs, they tend to be on poles and it's just one hook. Whereas a grappling hook is on a rope and is commonly used in more of a swinging motion. But anyway, there's a bike. That is a Trek. A lot of folks had a good chance to look at pictures of that online before I got my editing done. And even though that appears to have spokes, a seat, all the necessary parts, it was still low end on the Trek catalog. I looked up the serial number. Nobody had reported it stolen or owned at all. But back to the grappling hook there. The only issue I had with it is it was still pretty light. I got the issue straightened out with getting the rope in the right position, but it wasn't really sinking fast enough. So I think on the next modification we'll just add a little bit of a weight to it. Maybe a couple of washers or just some of the smaller debris I picked up from under the rail bridge. And now this is where we start to use both the magnet and the hook together. The hook tends to be a little bit stronger than the magnet in some ways. Also, it's good at picking up things that aren't magnetic, so that's the advantage of that. And there is another bike, this one not as pretty as the first one. Note the spokes are, I'm not going to say they're missing, but they're definitely not remaining on the tire. A lot of the spokes come out and you'll see them come up with other items. So back to the name of that device, whether you call it a gaff or a grappling hook. A lot of times I just refer to it as the hook, but it doesn't really sound good as a verb. You can't go around saying, hey, I'm going out hooking, because in many parts of the world that has a different meaning than what we're using it to mean here. So I found something with the magnet. I was having a little trouble pulling it up, so I'm going to throw the hook down after it. A little bit of a tangle there. I've edited out a lot of the tangles. I think the tangling might be from my gathering method here. And that is half of a bed frame. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw the first half of it a couple months ago, or I'm sorry, less than a month ago. I've been out to this location a couple times. This is the first time I've managed to remember to bring the camera with charged batteries, so those are two things I had going in my favor. What I had going against me is that I'd already fished out a lot of the more interesting items, including this kit that I was able to pull out. It's a small pouch. The magnet was attracted to a spoon, so I pulled that out, and next to the spoon was a needle. Called City Hall, the police department. They had an ambulance come by, pick it up. Everybody was pretty cool about that. This was also where I pulled out a couple of tire rims, full-size car tire rims. Using just the magnet, I was able to get a good flat surface on that and pulled those up. And here's bike number 3. And that was a decent throw. One thing I think I have to work on personally is I'm kind of making a mess of the sidewalk. I like to think that the next rainstorm, by the way, that's Dave. One of the Daves. That's Dave-O. Nice guy, does a lot of neighborhood work. Coming by to give me the elbow bump because he was using his phone and I was covered in Canal grime. I missed what that last item was. Before I go hit back and hit pause, that's cool. I'll wait. And here is a shopping cart. Not one of the bigger ones. I'm guessing that was kind of a Walgreens size. Your drugstore size, not your full-on grocery store size. And throw it, and it kind of broke in two there. Like I was saying, though, I'm making a little bit of a mess of the sidewalk, but the fans don't mind. My philosophy was that the rain will wash a lot of this away, but I have to stop thinking like that because there are some... It's just not good for the tourism, I guess. The yellow rope, that is the hook. So I'm using the hook there. And in a minute, I think this will really meet another Dave. Yep, that gentleman right there, that gentleman is also a Dave. And he just happened to be passing by. He lives around here as well. Saw what I was doing. I told him if he wanted to give it a shot, go ahead, give it a shot. Luckily, he had that one glove with him. So he starts going in and just playing with the hook. And almost right away, he gets this fishing rod. Good first find. I don't know if you can see it over there to the left wall. There is a little razor scooter. No canal fishing trip is complete until you find a razor scooter. I tried getting it earlier without much luck. Dave, again, demonstrating really good beginner skill there. Was able to get it on his third or fourth toss. And we pulled it up as a team. He hooked it, and I went out just to make sure I didn't lose it with the magnet. And throwing it back in the pile. I think next time I'll just throw... I like throwing things, to be honest. But I'll throw them to the left. Dave's doing me the favor there of putting them in a pile off the bridge, where he knows the scrappers will come by, check, and grab them. So he's grabbing all those. I'm trying to get out of his way. My magnet got stuck here a little bit, so I'm going to change my angle. Luckily I have a long enough rope. I think 50 feet is what most people will consider a good rope length. I'm going to get a different angle to retrieve it. And that was a pretty easy fix. And while I'm retrieving it, I'll also just toss that again and see if there's anything else there. Which there was. So we pull up this little refrigerator shelf, I think it is. Yep. And now, next time I'm in this location, I'll look for the rest of the refrigerator.